Aloha, beautiful High Vibe Tribe. It is Pink Bella. Welcome back to my channel and welcome all new subscribers. So today I'm going to be bringing in a Lemurian galactic transmission from Mother Mary. Yes, Mother Mary is galactic. And this is for an update on the Lemurian grid system, which is the Pacific Ocean. It encompasses many vortexes, stargates, and ley lines around the planet, including the area of the Pacific Ocean, the west coast of North America, and of course, it also sneaks over to Australia and areas of Japan, as well as Hong Kong. But today, I'm going to be bringing in a very special message based on the time of year and what's happening on the planet. Okay, so thank you all for liking, subscribing, and sharing this out, and I'm really, really grateful for you all to be here as well. So I specifically, especially last year, really started to deep dive into more intense work with the dragons as well as the divine goddesses, because the divine goddess codes I've been embodying my whole life and other lifetimes too. And many of you are drawn to working with Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, amongst others, as well as the dragons associated with those divine goddesses. But what I started to learn was these goddesses are galactic goddesses. They're a higher frequency version connected to source. And the memories of those beings on this planet were to help us remember, but very much connected to divine goddess, high priestess, sacred initiations and work over lifetimes, both on and off planet, including Sisterhood of the Rose Code. So I kind of encompass all of that, both in Divine Goddess Code sessions as well as group offerings as well. So a little bit of background, I started to offer these Divine Goddess Code Gridwork assignments after what happened to Lahaina last year, which was Maui, the heart of Lemuria, and many of us felt it, including myself. So an amazing gridwork assignment came out of that. A beautiful group of divine goddesses and I worked on the Pacific Northwest here. I'm outside of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. We worked on the Hawaiian Islands, facilitating healing and unifying and high vibrational energy for all living there, including the islands and the lands and the water and the animals, as well as the whales and the dolphins and the fish. And then we brought another piece over to California to reconnect everything again, because what I've started to learn is that the current grid system has been cut off and chopped off for many locations to keep us all disconnected. All right. The second galactic assignment was the Atlantean grids on the east coast of North America, as well as a piece over for London, the UK. And that was for us to stabilize the grids before the eclipse on April 8th. And by the way, I was reminded we are facilitating and wrapping up that April 8th to Lionsgate 8th. We've been on a big journey, all of us, since then, and it has been quite the graduation and initiation. All right, so that's just a little background. And I have consciously been doing grid work since 2017. I actually have been unconsciously doing grid work my whole life because I traveled so much for work and with family. And then after last year's Lionsgate and Lahaina, my team brought in the message, my higher self, prime source, the divine mother and the goddesses, that I would facilitate training some of you to do the type of grid work that I do, plus be part of these group grid work assignments where we're anchoring in divine goddess codes, the divine Christed energy in certain locations. So yes, there's many different types of grid work. So check in and see what your role is. Are you part of the team that's repairing and trying to maintain the current grid system with new light? And that is an assignment as well. I'm part of the team that's facilitating the overlay of the new Earth grid system to allow the galactics to set up new stargates and a new crystalline grids for all of us to anchor in and work with. So we are being moved over to New Earth as well. So we're already energetically doing that, but we're physically helping Gaia in certain areas of locations as well. So not all of us are on the side of a mountain, or we're not, hidden somewhere. Many of us are front lines near cities and very dense areas, and that's where grid work is needed the most. Okay, and we're also, yes, at the moment, Gridwork is not considered a, something that you go apply for, but it will be. And Prime Source and our Galactic teams do see that we're doing this work, and we do receive, abundance for this work as well. Okay, so I'd already recorded this. I'd recorded a transmission with Mother Mary, so I'm going to ask her to come back in for take 2. Divine Mother Mary, connected to Prime Source Crater, and Galactic Mother Mary, please come in and bring in a message for us all about why this next assignment is key and what's going on. Okay. Dear beloved souls listening to this message, it has come to all of our attention that many backdoor deals have been facilitated over many years, but that the unfolding of those deals is now impacting your current reality, including your water, your air, and your food. And that was not part of the unfolding at this time. That was a manipulation of timelines and energy. And so we would like to assist you all the best way that we can. And by you assisting us, we are assisting you. So the backdoor deals were made long ago. There have been time travelers currently that are facilitating poor air quality and poor food and water quality. And there's also, if you all were not aware, most of North America is on fire. And yes, some fires are naturally started, but these are not. These are a manipulation of these agreements. And this is also part of trying to push many souls who are not awake back into crowded city areas. So it has come to our attention. We've had meetings with many of you, and in your sleep, to bring forth new grid assignments to start immediately. And in particular, to help the mountains, the water, the air, the animals, and all of you maintain your connection with the natural resources that is your divine birthright. The manipulation has been to, when you're cut off from nature, when you're cut off from your home, when you go through a trauma, you go through not being able to breathe fresh air and drink fresh water, it puts you in a lower vibrational ascension cycle, and it also causes a lot of heartache and pain. And because some of the fires are completely wiping out beautiful, pristine areas and forcing all residents to move elsewhere. This was not the plan. This is not being divinely orchestrated. This was a plan all the way back in Atlantis. And there are time travelers that go to Atlantis, the old Atlantean timelines, through the old Stargate systems to keep everybody in a loop. So we wanted to bring forth some information to help facilitate and help heal and help recorrect what's currently going on. So thank you all for listening. You're also loved. And we all just wanted to let you know, including Prime Source Creator, that we are very aware of what's going on and that it will be corrected. And so it is. Thank you, Mother Mary. So yeah, that once again, when Lahaina was hit last year on Lionsgate, it was completely wiped out. Everyone lost their home, and the souls that lived there were native to the land, and many of them, do not have the abundance to rebuild. Plus, that area has been at the moment it's been taken over. So there's been something recently that's happened here as well, and that will be the next piece. I just want to see where they want me to go first. Okay. All right, I'll do this at the end. Okay, so I want to go to a little bit slideshow and talk a little bit about what our next assignment is going to be. So I've been facilitating group Gridwork assignments online. We meet on Zoom. So far, we've done a big piece for Lemuria. We did a big piece for Atlantis. And then this third piece will now be for New Lemuria and the new Earth grids and Gridwork. It's going to be starting very soon, the first week of September. And there'll be 3 pieces again. All right. Okay. And this is, see, the light codes. That to me is the divine goddess light, the new grid system, the light grid. I specifically work with the divine goddess codes because that's what I was guided the earth needs the most at this time. That there's been such an imbalance over lifetimes of this frequency being removed that we're literally embodying and activating the divine goddess codes within ourselves, and then we're activating them for the new grid system. Okay, so the new grid assignment is, as part of New Lemuria, is going to be 3 pieces. And this started off with the devastation of Jasper, Alberta at the end of July. And Jasper, Alberta is part of the Rockies, Canadian Rockies, and the Rockies go all the way down to New Mexico. So it's an intrinsic light grid energy system there's been some backdoor deals that have infiltrated the system. So that was my alert to start looking into it. So the first piece of this assignment will be to start to repair the dark portals that were opened up because of Jasper, Alberta, and before that. Okay, so this goes all the way down to many levels, people on this earth making these deals and then off-planet deals as well. So what I want to share with you all, and absolutely my heart goes out to any single person that was involved in any of the areas of devastation. And, this is my call to assist as best I can to help the healing and the facilitation. Because when a big piece of the Rockies gets infiltrated, that's going to infiltrate the whole Rocky system. And I was given this information many years ago when I first started to wake up that the Rockies were protected. Well, apparently we need to ramp up the grid assignments now as well. Okay, so the first place we'll be meeting will be the Canadian Rockies, Lake Louise, Banff, Alberta area to help facilitate any healing that needs to be done in that area, as well as to start to move the energy forward for the healing and the repair work around Jasper as well. The second piece will be the Big Island and Mauna Kea, as well as Pele will be assisting us, and that will be our Lemurian piece, as well as Pele and the Big Island facilitate fire and the balancing of fire. So Pele and the Big Island balance the fire energy for the rest of Hawaii, but she's also now been reconnected to the mainland by some good work we did last year, and she's going to be assisting us as well as the Big Island. Then the third piece will be, it's going to be Mount Shasta, California, but Mount Shasta is going to help us reconnect all these areas, as well as do some healing and grid work for Los Angeles, California as well. So that's super exciting. And this is called, I couldn't remember what the name they gave me. We're calling it the Leyline Galactic Project. It's the new Earth Grids and Gridwork Galactic Project, okay? So this is what the old grids look like. This is what the photo, the image they gave me last year. This is what the downfall of the Earth grid system and the closing of the stargates. This is what the old grid system looked like, a big old AI spider web. And this is what we're going to be removing into the divine, feminine, Christed Earth grid system. Okay, so even though the grid work assignments that I'm offering are divine feminine goddess assignments, I will be offering group Gridwork 101 where we'll do mini assignments where everyone can come. But the reason I'm offering divine goddess codes, I think I already shared this, is because that's the light that needs to be activated. But any of you divine masculines out there who would like to learn grid work, I offer one-on-one training, and I also will be bringing forward group Zoom calls as well where everyone can join. Okay. So this is, it's not necessarily an up-to-date image, but this was initially the main 1 to 7 chakra system for our planet Earth, of course, with the two main dragon ley lines. Now, what's interesting is Mount Shasta is considered like the root chakra, and that's what's been destabilized. So that's why Mount Shasta wants to assist us with this assignment, because the root chakra is putting us all into survival mode. So if all of North America is on fire and so many souls are being moved back into cities, that then the energy is fear and survival mode. Okay, let me see. There's also, in this image, there's one of the gateways in Maui. So we did some healing with that last year, but this session we'll be working with the Big Island energy as well. Super powerful. I have been there. Yeah, Pele doesn't mess around, that's for sure. And what else? It's also impacting our throat chakra, which is the Giza Sphinx pyramid, which is interesting, right? Because that is the time frame that we're in right now for the Lion's Gate. All these portals and vortexes are open, but the original Stargate system, which Giza is one of the main original Stargate systems that we're just only now starting to get some absolute truth about what that was all about, what's actually there. So more information coming forward about that soon, but it's not surprising to me. It's also impacting our solar plexus right now, which is Uluru in the middle of Australia. And isn't that interesting that in the recent internet grid system down system, as far as the information that's come to me, is Australia was hit the strongest, that Australia was the let's take everything down to really instill fear back into everyone's soul who lives there. Okay. All right. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. We got a big group that's doing a whole bunch of work around the heart chakra through this gateway. So that's beautiful. And I was guided that we would start this assignment after the Lion's Gate, before the 9/9 portal. So the first date that we'll all start together will be September 5th. Okay. I just wanted to show you all just one of the ley line maps. So usually what I do is I'll do some research for each assignment, and I'll post. We have a private Telegram group for the grid assignment souls. I'll usually bring up something for the area, but I just wanted to show you all in this map how connected everything is. Like Mount Shasta is connected over to the ley lines for the Rockies and Sedona and all the way down to Texas and then up to Montana. And then, there's an area there in BC, but also you see like the Pacific Northwest and Mount Shasta. We also have all the way up to Seattle. And of course, this map doesn't have Vancouver, Canadian grid lines, but we're all connected. We're all connected. So I just wanted to show you, like, this is just some of the information that comes forward in the assignments. And this is like a well-known map of the planetary grid system and how every area is connected and how we're all interlinked. So when we do a piece of one grid system, it helps to bring everything online. And that's why many of us are called to do different planetary grid work assignments all around the planet. Okay. And that's right, because we're all, this is what I do in sessions. I make sure that you are all connected to the new Earth grid system. I also do that in the group calls. We go through a quantum session as well. Okay, so this is some of the devastation in Jasper, Alberta, and it's very similar to the devastation in Paradise, California, in Lahaina, in Acapulco, and various other places where everything everything's so hot, everything it melts, cars melt, but some trees are still standing. So that's sort of the telltale sign. And so very, very sad. I have family in Alberta, and Jasper has been close to my heart since I was very little. So I was very sad about what happened, but such a wake-up call for Canada and for the world. And that's just recent, just at the end of July 2024. This is what Jasper looks like. This is how pristine it is. This is how high vibrational it is. And again, like Lahaina, it was just a small town. All right, so the first part will be Banff Lake Louise. Let me just go to my notes because it's on the website. So first assignment will be Canadian Rockies. Banff will meet energetically Banff Lake Louise, and I send out the assignment before we start. And that will be also helping to heal Jasper, Alberta. That will be September 5th. And we'll also be facilitating this healing for all the Rocky Mountains in Canada. I believe there'll be a second Rocky Mountain assignment. Not sure when that'll be. But I feel like part of this will help facilitate the healing of the entire Rocky Mountain chain. Okay. The second assignment will be the Big Island of Hawaii, working with Pele and, of course, Mauna So the theme is mountains with snow. And so Mauna Kea is an observatory on the Big Island, but it can receive snow. And Pele will be assisting us. And Pele is the goddess of that watches over, the galactic goddess that watches over fire, and the fire on the Big Island and the volcano that is still active. The third, and that assignment will be September 19th. The third assignment will be October 3rd. It will be Mount Shasta, and we will also be facilitating just the beginning of some healing for Los Angeles, California. And Mount Shasta will be assisting us because Mount Shasta wants to help to reconnect all these sites to help rebuild the strength of the mainland as well. Okay, because that's basically over time, the areas have been degraded and there's holes in the grid, in the original grid system. And you see the galactic ships over Mount Shasta. So again, we won't physically be there, but we'll be meeting on Zoom, and energetically we will be going to these locations. All right, and of course the dragons are going to be assisting us with this grid work and this light work to help bring the new ley lines online. And again, you have to remember who you are and why you're here. And it's showtime. Okay, so let me just put that back. Okay. So I'm gonna bring in a couple more messages. Okay. So you do not have to be trained in grid work to join these assignments, just that your heart and your soul are in it. You are high vibe and being called to it. The sign up is now at the top of my website. And at the moment, there's only 10 available spots, so book early. And the assignments will be emailed out to everyone like a week before we meet. If you're not able to meet the day and the time, you'll get the recording and you can still participate in the grid assignment as well and learn and heal and share with the group. There's also an opportunity to combine this with the Goddess Empowerment Package, and I'll go over that as well. Okay. So let me just see. So again, that is on my website at the top, and at the moment there's only 10 spaces available. Okay. So right now, we are embodying not only the divine goddess codes, the Christed energy, source energy, but we are embodying the angelic frequencies as well. And the angelic frequencies originally were taking care of the Rocky Mountains, but apparently that got degraded. So we are going to be the angelics, raising the frequency and bringing everything back online. It also is impacting our throat chakra. It's interesting because that, to me, looks like it's in the Rocky Mountains. There's a massive waterfall and trees, pristine energy. So the more that this happens, the more our throat chakras are getting like downgraded. So we want to participate and do something to help heal it, whether through good work or prayer or assisting those that have been impacted. Okay, so we want so the more of the highest frequency we have with all of Mother Earth. Like if you go and type in fires in North America right now, you will be shocked just at the amount of fires in the United States alone, as well as Canada, and many of them are not natural. Okay, so there's also a message from our future selves, our higher selves, saying we knew when we came in that this would be part of our assignment as well, and that we will be working with the dragons to help facilitate new fifth dimensional grid ley lines, as well as we have councils of light that will also be assisting with these assignments. Beautiful. Okay, so I went over the assignment. So again, that's on my website. Email me if you have any questions. And what's the other thing? Okay. There's also, for those of you who are new, I offer Divine Goddess Code personal um, empowerment activations with the dragons sessions. So there's a package of 3. And the usual goddesses are Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, and Mary Magdalene, but other goddesses come in every session. Okay, so you get a Divine Goddess Code activation, and you get to work with the dragons as well. But I combined both packages. So there's a Divine Goddess Codes empowerment package where you have the 6 calls, 3 personal and 3 group calls, and that's on offer as well, and that's below. So you can book in both ways. All right, beautiful tribe. Thank you all so much for listening. I'm so grateful. Again, my heart and soul and prayers goes out to anyone who's lost their home in Paradise, California, Lahaina, Maui, um, Jasper, Alberta, and any ones that have come before, in between, or that may be under threat right now. My prayers go out to you, and just know that many of us are on assignment to facilitate the blocks in closing the doors of these backdoor deals and closing down the timelines where the time travelers have been coming in and been able to facilitate this. And I'm just hearing that famous saying, forgive them, for they know not what they do. They don't. So we have to keep our vibe high and focused. And that is my commitment to the Divine Goddess Code Gridwork and this assignment. Sending all love and aloha, sending out that clarion call for everyone that I'm to work with on this assignment, and sending so much love and aloha for New Earth and New Lemuria. And so it is. Thank you so much, everyone. And I will be back soon. Love from Pink Bella.